welcome to another interesting segment on Home Truth Nigeria. So today we're talking the topic qualities Nigerian men love to see in women. Uh, I'll be talking on this topic today because a lovely lady, a very lovely lady, reached out to me via WhatsApp. And she requested, just as you can see on your screen, for me to talk on, make a video on qualities, Nigerian men like to see in women. And of course, who am I to say no to this request made by this lovely lady? So I decided I was going to talk on this topic. Now, guys, when a Nigerian man wants to get a serious partner, there are things he looks out for. These things he creates a checklist for them. And what he does is that he meets a lady of interest. He observes. It could be he's meeting you online or it could be physically, but he takes his time to observe you, like they say, first impression, before he decides to reach out, to you, either to chat with you or to talk to you in person, which is still under the observation mode. At the same time, you could be dating a Nigerian man and he's also still getting to know you, trying to observe who this lady is. Like I said in my previous videos, the character would always come first. But that doesn't mean Nigerian men don't like women who are attractive. However, he needs to see certain qualities he wants in a woman, in his woman, before he decides to go, fully or not. Or, drops the conversation or the interest halfway, or what we call, ghosting. Or perhaps if you guys have been in a relationship, you just decide to leave the relationship. Now, what are these qualities Nigerian men love to see in their woman? The first one is respect. If you lack respect, you struggle really hard with a Nigerian man or any African man or a lot of men, if I would say. Now, for the sake of Nigerian man, any Nigerian man who puts up with a disrespectful woman is either a broken or weak Nigerian man. Or maybe this Nigerian man has a mission in your life as a lady. It could be maybe he needs you for monetary reasons, or maybe there's an opportunity to travel and get a visa with you, because an average Nigerian man will not tolerate disrespect from his woman. He's not going to take that in the morning, in the night, not even in his dream. Respect is key, and it's the biggest thing anyone can offer to a Nigerian man. From the way you talk to him, you react to him, you address him, these things they matter so much to him. No Nigerian man wants a lady who curses and runs her mouth like she has diarrhea of the mouth. No Nigerian man can stay with a lady who is like a lost cannon, ready to shoot at any slight provocation. No Nigerian man will stand or tolerate disrespect. And if you are disrespectful to your Nigerian man, except you're ready to work and improve that relationship, your relationship is heading to fail. That is for sure. Now, Nigerian men want partners who respect. If you're a lady and you speak to your Nigerian man in a very disrespectful manner, try to change from it. It doesn't mean that maybe you're worshiping him or something. No, it's just the least you could or can offer to your Nigerian man, and that is respect. And I've always said this: respect is not one way. You also, as a lady, you also have to be respected as well. So, but the most important thing is this: when you're with a Nigerian man, you need to find a reason and you need to offer him that respect. He needs the respect. It is the best and the biggest thing you can do for a Nigerian man. Now, the next point is you had good home training. You're coming from a background with a good home training. The way you were brought up as a child matters to Nigerian men, because we believe good home training can be passed on to kids. Nigerian men do not just stop at what you are all about and how beautiful and nice you are. They also want to know how you've been raised. They want to know if the way you've been raised meets their standards and expectation when raising their own kids or kids you guys might likely have together. They want to know if you have generational burden or generational guilt, still with you that you might likely pass on to the kids you guys would have together. Now, it's not like they are trying to judge you because some women, came from dysfunctional homes, where parent or one of the parent was an addict, came from home where it was a norm to throw punches on people, to break people's head, and domestic violence and all of that growing up, and it has in one way affected the social life and the upbringing of a lot of women. So the Nigerian man wants to know what you have done about it. Did you work on yourself as an adult? Okay, he knew that, okay, your parent, because of the situation coming from a dysfunctional family, you couldn't get the best in terms of upbringing. Have you worked on yourself? Have you, worked on yourself in a position whereby what you've gone through, you're like, nah, I'm going to make sure my kids don't go through this. These things are very important for Nigerian men. He understands that him as a man, he's going to spend a lot of time outside, trying to provide for the family. And he understands that, in the formative age of a child, especially the weaning, the nurture stage, most children will spend more with the mom. So he wants to know who this lady is. Are you the kind of mother who is going to light up a cigarette and smoke in front of your toddler, in front of your child who you breastfeeding or who is still on the feeding on bottle? He wants to understand this. These things are very important for your Nigerian man because to him, if such is the case, then that lady has failed as a parent. So a lot of Nigerian men are very, very particular about good home training. Good home training also includes cooking, keeping the house clean, and also keeping yourself clean. So I also emphasize, ladies, make sure you also with a man who also has good home training. It doesn't have to be one-sided. Make sure you with a Nigerian man who's been raised properly. And if he also was coming from a dysfunctional home, he has also helped, raise himself well. So it has to balance itself. It's also very important. So it doesn't just stop on you alone. It's a two-way street. Another point is understanding. Understanding is very important. It's an important quality for Nigerian men. Nigerian men look out for understanding when they're selecting a partner. The ability to understand him is priceless. It's like having this telepathic ability. You guys can just sit down and you're communicating like Dr. Xavier in X-Men and stuff. Nigerian men love women who show and have understanding. Women who understand them, women who understand what he wants. The woman who understand how his mind works, the woman who understand when things are okay for him and when things are not okay for him. Women who understands what his needs are, women who understands when he is struggling, and women who understand when things are practically tough. you know Nigerian men understand that if you have this understanding for them, it would bring more of peace to the because when you don't have understanding, there will be no peace. You'll be butting your head a lot. So when you have understanding, it would promote peace. Nigerian men love a woman who can tell when situations are very tough and who tries to also adapt to that situation. They believe it is all part of understanding. So if you're understanding in the right way, you do well with a Nigerian man. There are women who don't understand. No matter what you try to tell them, they just can't understand it. So because they can't understand it, the next thing is, wow, we fight. Yeah. You and me now, you and me, we fight. Yeah. The women like this, the one they don't get it, they start war. So Nigerian man understands, when he's financially buoyant, when he's not financially buoyant, you can adapt to this situation. You understand that he's got families back home. For whatever reason, he has to support his aged parents. There's this understanding, very, very important. It brings peace. A lot of Nigerian men, they look for peace. They don't want to go out after toiling and hustling. They're coming home to start the third world war. They're coming home to meet peace, a lady who can actually give them peace. Another thing they look at is that you have something going on for you. Nigerian men love women who have something going on for them. Like you have a life and a means of generating income. No matter how small it is, at least you have something, that makes you wake up in the morning, and keeps you busy. You use your brain, your brain is calculating how to solve things. Your brain is not just there, thinking about things that are, you know, they don't things that don't make sense, frivolous, they don't make sense. He understands that as a woman you need to have something doing, and this thing should be able to bring in some income, no matter how small it is. It is important that he understands that your life has meaning. You have a functional life. You're not just there, doing nothing 24 hours. The only thing you do is just to breathe. You breathe in and you breathe out for 24 hours. That's the only thing you do. He understands that you have a life for yourself. Nigerian man wants to see that you also have acquired a skill, a skill that could be beneficial, where if things don't go according to plan, you can fall back to it. It could be you're skilled in tailoring, hairdressing, you're a caterer, you're good with baking, you're good as an event planner and everything. It is very important. A lot of Nigerian men, when you're talking to them, they always want to ask you, what do you do? What do you do? It's an important thing. Now, if you're a lady, maybe you don't have a job, you've lost a job, it can happen to anybody. But the Nigerian man is interested. What skill have you got? What do you have of your sleeves? What do you know how to do? It's important. But when you're just someone who exists, the only thing you wake up in the morning, you breathe in, you breathe out, you breathe in like air condition, nothing else, just to breathe in, depriving people of oxygen and all of that, you would have problem with some Nigerian men, because a lot of them will see you as a liability. It's like, okay, this would be a liability to me. Now, please, it is very important that most Nigerian men are not looking for you to feed them, the serious ones, but they want to make sure that you have a life. You can also contribute to the relationship. Now, some Nigerian men may also offer help. They may offer, like, okay, maybe you haven't got any skill. It could be a thing of interest to them, like, okay, look, babe, you haven't got skill, why don't you take up this, so you do. It's not nice not to have a skill, especially in this day and age. It's not nice. Some could sponsor, some could motivate you to do, if it's something, a program you can do that is funded by the government. All this depends on the kind of Nigerian man you with. You could be with a rich Nigerian man who doesn't care, but the chances of being with a rich Nigerian man is very slim. So you would likely end up with a Nigerian man who is struggling, or a Nigerian man who is somewhere. And for that reason, he doesn't want liability. So he wants someone who can pitch in a little bit. So it's very, very important. Another point is you're God fearing. Now, most Nigerian men love women who are God fearing. One major reason they love God fearing ladies is the fact that they have morals that come from their relationship with God. They believe the more God fearing you are, the more honest you are, the more decent, the more respectful and accommodating you can be. And also, they believe you would have the ability, to go into your closet and pray for them. Now, some Nigerian men will tell you God answers the prayer of a woman faster than a man. So, for this, they always would be very keen on meeting women who are God fearing. Now, you will see a serious Nigerian man asking you, do you go to church? Do you believe in God? These questions are important as religion plays a big role in Nigeria. So most Nigerian men want to raise a family, a godly and a decent family. They want that with a woman who understands this concept, not a woman, whereby they are going to the left and the woman is going to the right. In such situation, a lot of families cannot stay. So being God fearing, it also promotes trust, because they understand that because of you God fearing, you will know what is morally right and what is wrong. They understand that when you God fearing, you know what is morally right and what is morally wrong. Like, okay, well, she knows messing around with other men It's not nice. It's not proper. She can't be my wife and she's sleeping with other men. It is not nice. It's not proper. These are things they believe you would understand as morals and can come because you're God fearing. So this brings us to the point. What if I do not have these qualities? Now you have women who are thinking, what if I do not have these qualities and I really would love to be with Nigerian men? Does that mean Nigerian men would not want to be with me? The answer is no. Now, we say love is blind, don't we? There are Nigerian men you may meet who, for all of this I've listed, want just one thing, and that is respect. So long as you give him respect, he is fine. I know Nigerian men who don't need anything from a woman but just respect. The only thing they need is respect. The moment you give them that respect, they don't mind doing anything to make their home work. There are Nigerian men who are very good with domestic chores, they're cooking and all of that. The only thing they need from that lady is respect. At the same time, you have Nigerian men who see that you have the ability, to adapt and the ability to listen as a lady. When he speaks, they understand that you know that him as the man is the head of the household. Such men would go on this journey with you, even if you feel, if they see that, okay, there are a lot of shortcomings you have, maybe you don't understand this and that and this. These men will go on this journey with you so long as they know you have come to understand their position in the relationship, their position in the home. This is very important. You see this particular men who understand that, okay, I love this lady. One thing I love about her more is that she gives me my respect. She understands my position in the relationship. And for this alone, I would go any length with her to have a better relationship. This is very important. At the same time, you have Nigerian men who are not there to watch you change or watch you go through transformation to become something else because they do not have that time, to tolerate and endure the process of, okay, you've gone from being disrespectful to respectful, you've gone to be lazy to hardworking, you've gone to be a bad cook, who to a good cook, they don't have that time. They are looking for women who already have these qualities before they move in. So you have these Nigerian men who are basically like this. You will find Nigerian men who are more mature in their age to be this kind of man. When you meet a Nigerian man who is in his late 40s, 50s, maybe who has been married before, and stuff. A lot of them are not ready to tolerate what a younger Nigerian man who hasn't been married before would like. Okay, it's an experiment, it's a process. Let us go through it. A lot of them are like, oh, been there, done that, not interested. Adieu. They don't want to do it. So you'll find this totally different depending on the Nigerian man you are with. Because at the end of the day, it depends on the guy or the Nigerian man you pick. But one thing is for sure, a serious Nigerian man would demand for a stable and a nice relationship from the both of you. And this he would pick out from the qualities he wants in his woman. And if you think, hell no, this is not for me, there are a lot of women who say, nah, this is not for me. It's totally fine. There are women who come like, oh, well, you said all of these things. Oh, I can smell narcissistic behavior. Oh, you said all of these things. I could smell, all this man who say I'm alpha male and all of this. It is fine. Listen, you don't have to be with Nigerian men. It's not a problem. You've got about 195 countries in the world. How many continents? Six, seven continents. You can go, any other continent, pick men. You don't have to be with Nigerian men. But if you as a lady listening, you are ready to like walk this walk, improve on yourself, improve collectively. For those of you in a relationship already with a Nigerian man, or you both you're married to a Nigerian man and you want to improve your relationship, these things are key, these things are vital. You can do it. There are a lot of women who are looking for ways on how to improve themselves because they see that okay, they need this to have a stable relationship. And if you like, nah, this is not for me, I just want to do my thing, exist, cuss when I want to cuss, swear when I want to swear, smoke when I want to smoke, punch when I want to punch, talk when I want to talk, do what I want to do, and all of this, it's fine. Nigerian men are not for you. You meet men from other part of the world who will uh give you thumbs up, when you do that. So the most important thing I also want to point out, ladies, is this: the fact you're respectful, the fact you're trying to build a perfect home, the fact that you're working on showing nice qualities, to have a good relationship with your Nigerian man, it doesn't make you subservient or less important than him. You need to understand that sometimes for things to work out well, you both need to have roles. I said something before in one of my videos. I said gender roles are very important. There are things you would also hold your Nigerian man accountable for because you expect him to do these things. As always, guys, if you've got questions, you can write me on hometruth86@gmail.com, or you can contact me via WhatsApp on the number on the screen. If you want me to talk on any topic, we can talk, discuss about it, and see if I've treated something like this before. If not, guys, like, share, subscribe. 100 Nigeria, peace out.